All right, y'all, what is going on? Back with another video. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic morning. Hopefully everything is good. It is Thursday, the 3rd, and we are into the weekend pretty much. Holiday weekend, 4th of July. It's going to be a long weekend for me because I took today off. I got some things I got to take care of or whatever the case may be. If you're out there working, make the most of it. Do your best. If you're grinding, that's even better. Maintaining, that's even better. And hopefully keep it up, keep going, and keep pushing. Over here we talk about gaming and everything in the umbrella, so hopefully you guys will check out the video, check out the channel, all the things we do over here. All my links are down in the description if you want to check me on other platforms. Also, the Stop Killing Games initiative is linked down as well. I'm trying to push that along with everyone else, trying to get over the hump. I think we're going to go ahead and get to that million for the guys over there in EU. I think they're already at 900,000, so that's great. All right, so enough of all of that. Let's talk about the topic at hand, Xbox. What in the world Xbox is doing, I have no idea. It is ridiculous. I was just talking about how well Xbox could be doing things as far as putting their stuff on PC, having you the options to play anywhere. And at the end of the day, I like stuff like that. But what I don't like is all these cuts that are going on. The cuts going on is ridiculous. People are losing their jobs. They're talking about more people losing their jobs outside of the 9,000 that they talked about. They're just going to keep rolling and rolling. And what hit me the most, really what surprised me the most, was even Turn 10. Turn 10 is losing people. Like, this is like one of your most successful franchises. Like, how you lose 50% of the workforce at Turn 10. The Forza guys, the do Forza Motorsport, the do Forza Horizon, basically one of your most successful, franchises, are losing that many people. Listen, I don't know what we're going to get when it comes to Forza Horizon 6. And to be honest, the Forza Motorsport franchise might be on and out the window altogether. This is really, really unfortunate. Now, there are other racing games out there that's going to be, to the forefront. I'm going to talk about them at some point. I saw the trailers of them. They look really good, but we'll talk about that later. But all these other companies that are losing, all these other studios that are losing people, is really unfortunate. And it's like a bloodbath over there. It is crazy. It is really, really, it's scary, man. When you think about the gaming industry, it's like, what are they doing? Now, I will flip this and say this. Can this be a positive? Maybe, because I've seen some people talk about, they're getting rid of a lot of nonsense that's going on. They hired too many people like prior and during the pandemic, and they're starting to realize they don't need those type of people. Some people are saying like, you don't need a lot of people to make great games, which I do agree with that. There are certain games that don't need hundreds and hundreds of people. And I know that may sound foreign to some people, but that is true. You don't need that many people. But it gets to a point when you see all of these studios are losing people, then you start to think, be like, all right, what is going on? Is this sustainable? Even to lose that many jobs, is that sustainable? What are we doing? Are we going to get certain games at this point? Are certain games going to be on the chopping block? I know Xbox got a line of games that they say they're going to be putting out, and it sounds great. And for the most part, they have done okay with putting games out, albeit they be on other platforms. But the Xbox platform, with them being basically a publisher, they're really putting out some games. But the games that they're putting out, you're looking like, how well are they going to be received? And is that a good thing if they are, just making profit? And I think that's what Xbox is basically, looking at. Like, look, we're making a lot of money over here. We're doing good. We're going to have to cut some more jobs so we can have more revenue for the company, which I'm not really here for the business side of it. I can care less. I just want to make sure games like the Forza series, like the Gears series, what's going on with Halo, those are their main franchises. Well, that's what you think. Are they going to thrive? What about these other people that are losing their jobs? What's going to happen to not only their livelihood, but what's going to happen to these games It's so many to list. You know, you got the Perfect Darks of the world. You got all these other companies that are losing jobs, that games that look promising. What's going to happen now? It's like, you know, that, because from my standpoint, I'm a gamer. I just want the good games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily here for, you know, the whole ins and out of the industry. But you know, on the surface, when you are losing, you know, this many employees, then you start to think like, all right, something's up. You know what I mean? Like, what's really going on? You know, so I'm sitting here looking like, I need to figure out how they're going to navigate, because now I'm thinking like, what are we doing with Game Pass as a consumer? What am I doing with all these other places as a consumer as far as buying games or playing games on their platform? Because I don't want to be paying for something that's like not necessarily, you know, that's not worth it. You know, yeah, it's good to have the 360 games. It's good to have these other games. But what about the newer games? What about the games that could be, you know, on the, I'm going to go over here. Yeah, let me go. I mean, what about these other games that could be, you know, basically day ones? How would those games going to fit? What are those games going to be like? Because you're losing so many people. These games may not be, you know, good quality. They may not be even released. So I'm sitting there just thinking like, as a consumer, as a gamer, I'm sitting there like, I don't know what to think of this. It just sucks all the way around. It sucks for the people losing their jobs. It sucks for what type of games we're getting. What's going to happen when all the dust is settled? Because I'm just sitting back looking at my entire Xbox library, that the ones that I have, like from the original Xbox, the 360, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really count the Xbox One anymore. I mean, because the Xbox Series is basically a continuation of the Xbox One. So I'm serious. Like when I look at all the consoles I do have from Xbox, it really feels like this is the end of an era. Because I haven't even talked about the hardware side of stuff. I haven't even talked about what, you know, console that they're gonna put out. You know, because that right there is another thing that we're looking like, all right, what's that about? What are we doing there? You know, so I don't know, man. At the end of the day, it's just going to be somewhat of a wait and see approach. What's Xbox going to look like in the next 2, maybe 3 years? What are they going to look like in the next 6 months? You know, I mean, next thing, this is what I think is going to end up happening. Like, honestly, even though with all these cuts, I got a feeling they're going to raise the price of Game Pass. I think that's going to be the next thing that they're going to do, because they're trying to get all that profit, and they're getting it based on with the less amount of people and try to rake in the most money. And I think that's what's going to happen. But I'm not going to get into that subject. That's going to be another subject for another day, because I do feel like that's coming. You know, right now I think I'm paying for PC Game Pass, or, you know, Game Pass Ultimate. I think it's like $21, which, you know, $21 a month is not bad at all. But when you start to think about it, I wouldn't be surprised they go up to 25. You know, I won't be surprised if they end up going up to like, you know, 30 a month, because that's just the way these companies are going right now. So with that and all these cuts, and I just don't know, man, what the hell is going on. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I will be going live a little bit more because I'm off this weekend, so hopefully you guys will come through. We'll do some more discussion about this. We'll get back into playing SOCOM 4. Hopefully I could possibly finish that this weekend, because there's a couple other games I want to get to. I don't know, man. I think I want to stay back on the PS3 thing. I think I want to do God of War Ascension, because that's an underrated game nobody talks about. You know, that's a game nobody talks about, but I don't know. We'll see. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm going to get up out of here. I'll catch y'all on the next one. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.